when you got a coach that has weathered the storm with all the adversity, all the noise, the chatter, everything that's going on around him in the football program, many wondered how would they fare? Would they be able to come out of this thing unscathed? Would they trip and fall? Would they have a below season? Oh, excuse me, not below season, but a below average season. There's a lot of folks out here who said they was going to be 3-8 last season, in which they showed up, showed out, and in a couple of instances there, they could have actually been 9-2 instead of 7-4, based on a couple of snafus here and there. But things happen. Things happen in games. You lose players, you lose coaches. I mean, hell, it's all type of things that go on within programs that many of us that we don't even really pay much attention to. But you got to salute the coaches that decided they wanted to move on. One moved on to a Power 5 program. Another one moved on to a Group of 5 program. Salute to them. As far as them wanting to go ahead and move up the ladder, as far as where they are looking to coach next. But you got to understand one thing: the show must go on, and the coach got to find those ones that want to be a part of what he has going on, what he's looking to build over there in that Jackson State Tigers football program. And if you're not that one, it's cool. But trust and believe, head coach T.C. Taylor got his head on the swivel. He's paying close attention to everything that's going on around him, trying to make sure those that are coming into the program, they want to be where they are, and not just for a moment or two. But then again, you never know, because people's minds change so quickly and so often that things, certain things happen. Things do happen. You get what I'm saying? But guys, we're going to go ahead and get into what exactly is going on with the Jackson State Tigers football program right after this. It's your favorite coach back at it again. 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow Leader Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get all upcoming videos. For all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, share these videos, and tap in and free to attempt to come on in. It's nothing but positive vibes. We're just having a good time talking about HBCU sports. And don't forget, you can follow us on all social media platforms. The links are listed down below in the description. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump on in this thing, because I know you're like, Coach, what you got going on over there? What's brewing, Coach? Talk to us. We've been missing you, man. What's happening? Well, let me get to it. First and foremost, salute to head coach Tamika Reed over there with the Jackson State Lady Tigers basketball program. I know everybody's sitting there looking like, Coach, she do this every year. You're absolutely correct. But to the magnitude in which these young ladies are playing ball, you got to give them their props. You've watched them come back from behind in games to win games. You've seen them scratch and claw and get themselves back in a game to show that they have that grit and determination to make sure that they're not going to let one slip away. They're leaving it all out there on the court. And in this instance, you got to shout out Maya Crump, because this young lady went 90% shooting the ball in the game against Texas Southern, who they beat 101-51. Now, Crump went 9 for 10 shooting the ball, 3 for 4 behind the three-point line. She had 10 rebounds and 1 assist. Look, guys, these Lady Tigers, they trying to get out here and make a statement. Matter of fact, they had 3 other players in the game who scored double digits. Angel Jackson had another good game, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 4 blocks, 1 assist, and 1 steal. Thailand Bowler, she had 13 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 steal. Adriana Avent had 19 points, 14 rebounds. Now, again, the Lady Tigers are 15-0 in SWAC play, beating Texas Southern 101-51, in which they got another game or two that's coming up. I believe SWAC tournament starts not this week, but the following week. So they're going to go ahead and close out the remaining part of this season and see how everything goes. And guys, like I said, it's going to be business as usual. I'm waiting to see these ladies get after it, because you got the UAPB, Golden Lionesses, they over there, they balling. You got Grambling State, they balling. You got Southern, they balling. I'm gonna give Bethune-Cookman, I'm gonna give them their credit. When they're hot, oh my God, it's nasty over there. They're putting in work. And that young lady over there, FAMU, oh my goodness, that young lady can hoop. kudos to her as well. They've been getting after it as well. But, everybody else got to step up and make sure they do their due diligence to give her a little something extra so that, they can continue to keep that thing moving. But, guys, Coach going to go ahead and get into what we're going to talk about right now. Because I know you're like, Coach, you talk about basketball. You all over the place. You saluting everybody. Just get to the daggone topic at hand. But listen, guys, I missed y'all. That's all I got to say. How everybody doing out there? Everybody having a good time? Everybody doing fine. I hope everybody doing fine. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all something. If you're not doing it, please make sure that you do. Put your mask on, please, because it's some nasty. I'm about to cuss. This is a family channel. Your coach been down for a couple of days, and it was because of the COVID. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I don't keep nothing from y'all. That's why you haven't seen nothing from me. You saw the one video that went up. If you did see the video, I talked about the Cam Newton situation as well as some other things. If you have not checked out the previous show, I believe that was the Blow the Whistle with your host, Coach Walker. If you have not checked that last show out, please make sure you go over there and check that out. I'm sure YouTube didn't put that out to everybody because I showed a couple of clips from the fight that took place, and it was just crazy. Well, it wasn't even a fight; it was a dust up because a lot of the things that was being said in a lot of the articles out there about what took place was not accurate. It was, it was tilted a little bit. But I'm glad Cam Newton came out there and told everybody, basically what went on, how he could do better himself, and so on and so forth. We'll talk about that in another episode of Blow the Whistle with your host, Coach Walker. That show is coming, but we'll save that for then. But we're going to talk about head coach T.C. Taylor right now. Looking at, like I said before, looking at everything that took place, we got to be honest with this thing, right? Coach Taylor lost a lot of athletes last season, lost coaches. The culture and everything, the vibe, as far as like the motion, that moxie, all of those things with the team was, last season where folks were trying to really figure it out and just find out, okay, which direction are we looking to go next? And I'm going to be real with you. There are some things that I saw, some growing pains that happened with the program. And there were some things that we needed to see as far as, okay, what happens when you have all of this chaos, this big conundrum of chaos that's going on, that you can find a way to get through all of it, still have a successful season, and then bounce back in season number 2 and go out here and kick some behind and do what you need to do, which is where he's at right now. He's going into season 2. Now, there's a, I know some of y'all going to try and hit me with this one, but I want somebody to tell me the truth about it. I've been hearing that, coaches going into their second season have been known to win championships. How true is that? Somebody leave me some comments below and let me know. But looking at what head coach T.C. Taylor has been able to do going into his second season, like I said before, he was 7-4, had a great camp, great athletes out there on the field that balled out for him last season. Got a couple of them that played in the Legacy Bowl, got out there and showed their talents, letting everybody know that they're more than capable of going to play on the next level. You got to understand, one thing I'll say about this, head coach T.C. Taylor put his head down, he went to work. He understands the nature of the game. He understands that, trials and tribulations will happen. Things are going to occur. You go ahead, continue to keep moving through them and make things happen in no matter what you need to for your program to be successful. Those who want to stay, let's go to work. Those who want to go, peace up. See you later. We about this thing. We're going to do what we got to do, and we're going to make it happen. And that's what he's doing. And a new day is here. And everybody's record is 0-0. Yeah, you get to have your bragging rights saying you are the champions until the season starts again. Or until the next champion is crowned. But the thing is, yeah, everybody's going to always they're going to rely back on that season which they won. Especially when you don't have that great season that you are expecting your program to have the season thereafter. A new day is here. And I'm sure Coach T.C. Taylor understands he got to have those coaches in there that's going to be about playing A, B, C, and D, because you're going to have those tough roads where you got to figure it out and get an understanding of what's going on, and you got to have them right people that's going to be in them trenches ready to dig with you. Well, looking at what the Jackson State Tigers football program has done last season from a defensive back standpoint, they led the SWAC in interceptions through 11 games. Yeah, I know. FAMU had 17 interceptions as well through 13 games. I got that, guys. But again, they did it in 11. With that being said, I'm saying spot on Tigers defense. I'm not taking nothing away from the FAMU Rattlers defense at all. I'm not taking anything away from the FAMU Rattlers national HBCU champions. I'm not taking anything away from them at all. I'm not nothing at all. But I'm just looking at this defense that they had last season, in which they lacked in forced fumbles as well as fumble recoveries. I mean, they had 6 fumbles, which they was ranked 10th, and I think they recovered 5 of them. When you have a defense that was ranked number 1, 21, 22, then this year I think the defense was ranked 6th or 7th. You start looking at how, okay, what exactly can we do to get some things going on here? Because you got the athletes, you got the players coming in there. Now is the time where we get the people in here that's going to coach them up. Not only that, not only that, but when you see all of the when you see athletes that are coming and going, transitioning in, transitioning out of the program, you got to ask yourself the question: do we have the type of coaches in here that can relate to what's going on with those athletes? And I think what head coach T.C. Taylor was able to do this season with the hires that's coming in there, I think the coaching staff has gotten younger. I think Coach T.C. Taylor understands that we got to have coaches that's going to be able to come in here and be able to have coaches that can articulate and understand where these athletes are coming from. Be able to sit down and get an understanding of what the thought process is as far as the things that they're seeing out there on the field. Because don't get me wrong, now there's some coaches out here that coaching styles are a little stale. I'm just gonna be real with you. They are stale. They're stale. I mean, you can't relate to anything that the athletes are talking about. The athletes is telling you what's going on out there on the field, and you can't really relate to what's happening as far as, okay, how do I make a change to make this thing happen? Well, guess what? He got him an aggressive defensive back coach that's now going to take over the reins as the new defensive coordinator of the Jackson State Tigers football program, Coach Quinn. He has been dubbed as the new defensive coordinator for the Jackson State Tigers football program. Now, one thing I like about this, because I had to go, dig back a little bit and, see exactly where all he's been as far as with his coaching and whatnot. We know, everyone is fully aware that Coach was over at Alcorn State for a couple of years. Now, not only that, but Coach Quinn actually was offensive coordinator at Mississippi Delta College. So I'm sitting there like, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me you got a coach that understands offense as well as defense to get to really be able to decipher and pick apart exactly what offensive coordinators may consider doing out there on the field? That's kind of like when you take a wide receiver, turn from the wide receiver position and make him a defensive back. You wonder why we hear so many times people say, man, wide receivers make good DBs and DBs make good wide receivers. Wide receivers, because they know exactly where the defense is going to be, where those holes are going to be within the defense, as well as on that defensive side of the ball, where they need to be when that quarterback is looking to throw that ball to get themselves out of pressure, or depending upon the type of schemes that they got going on out there on the field. So that's a win-win for the Jackson State Tigers football program. And I like that because, again, you got other coaches that's coming into the program. You got a new defensive back coach coming to the program. You got a new outside linebackers coach coming into the program, defensive line coach coming to the program. We're going to talk about all these people that's coming into the Jackson State Tigers football program. But we're going to discuss right now head coach T.C. Taylor and head coach and defensive coordinator. I keep saying head coach. It must be something I see for coach in his future. But defensive coordinator Quinn, we're going to talk about these two right now. But looking at what they were able to do last season, like I said before, with those DBs, they had 17 interceptions. I'm like, come on. That defensive back scheme was something crazy where they understood the assignments and was able to get there and do what they needed to do. Now, and not only that, but what leads me to believe that for those guys that have 17 interceptions, they must have been watching some I'm about to say another word. They must have been watching some serious film to get an understanding of where they need to be when that ball get out there. They got to understand where they need to be when that ball was thrown. Now, the question is, what type of defensive scheme do you think they're going to run? I can see Jackson State going to a 4-man front, 2 safety high, 1 safety high, something similar to what they ran last season. I can see them doing it. I can see them possibly switching over to a 3-man front, depending upon if they have the personnel for that. If they don't have the personnel for that, I think they'll go with a 4-man front. Got to wait and see how everything's going to turn out between now and the next opening period for the transfer portal. Also, got to figure out if there's going to be some athletes that's going to leave and who's going to stay. You already know how this thing's going to roll. Things have a tendency of moving in different directions in the manner in which they do. So those are a couple of things that I'm still holding out for to see exactly how that goes. Congratulations to Coach Quinn on getting that dub to become the new defensive coordinator for the Jackson State Tigers football program. Now, the one thing that I know many out there are wondering, who in the heck is going to hold that card when it comes down to calling them plays next season on the offensive side of the ball? I've said it myself early on. I was wondering how long was it going to take before it actually happened. Head coach T.C. Taylor will be the offensive coordinator come next season. Again, if you're not familiar with what he's been able to do, remember, he called plays when he's over at North Carolina Central University, in which in 2016, his offense had 4,614 yards, which they got to the Celebration Bowl. I believe that was the year that Grambling had won that Celebration Bowl game. But they rushed the ball for 1,934 yards. They threw the ball for 2,680 yards that season. Had 19 touchdowns passing, 23 touchdowns running the ball. You saw at that time him over there calling plays for North Carolina Central, while many of you remember what he was able to do during that 2021 season, midway through when he took over calling the offense for the Tigers football team. If many of you don't recall, head coach T.C. Taylor called the plays for the Tigers football program starting midway through the season against Alabama A&M, which they scored 61 points. That was Scootergate, when Coach Maynard was making fun of Coach Sanders' scooter, in which Coach Sanders left him a pink scooter over there at Alabama A&M when they played them that year and put the Jack State logo on it and signed that boy for him and gave it to him. Many of you may have forgot. Head coach T.C. Taylor took over the play calling duties for the Jack State Tigers football program in 2021 when they played Alabama A&M during their homecoming, which they beat them 61-15, in which the Jack State Tigers football program scored the Jack State Tigers offense scored 54 points in that game. Now, one thing for certain is this: keep in mind the fact that Coach T.C. Taylor is more than capable of getting out there calling the offense. And I'm sure he's probably salivating at the chops like, yo, I get a chance to do this again, to go ahead and show that not only can I run this team, being the head coach, but now I can get out here and call these plays. I mean, this is something you see happen all the time. I'm waiting to see exactly how everything lines up with the Jack State Tigers football program this upcoming season, especially with the new addition of the coaches that's coming into the program, as well as all those young minds that's going to be in that Jack State Tigers football coaching, in those coaching meetings, getting everything together as far as preparation and planning to play against these teams next season. Guys, this is going to be another great season for the Tigers. Just sit back, relax, watch and see how this thing goes, and just trust and believe Coach T.C. Taylor got everything well taken care of, and they're going to be just fine. But guys, congratulations to Coach T.C. Taylor for hiring a vibrant young mind to come into the Tigers football program to run that defense, to get things moving in the manner which they need to move. Again, I know a lot of the Tigers fans and Tiger faithful out there were looking for the Tigers to come out this season and have another defensive season like they did in 2021 and 2022. Had some growing pains going on this season. Hopefully they get things back in order and move things in the manner which they need to, so that they can get people, coming into this thing and doing what they need to do. Because again, the defensive back showed out last season, 17 interceptions, led the SWAC. We're going to see exactly what the offense is going to be able to do. You got Irv Mulligan coming back. You got Jacoby Morgan, I believe, possibly going to be the starting quarterback this season. So we're going to see how all of this is going to go. Seven McGee, and you got all these other athletes that's coming in that's going to play as well. Guys, sit back and watch what your Tigers going to do. But coach going to go ahead and get up on out this thing. But until next time, be the one and lead.